All right, welcome to Romance Happy Hour. We are here on a special bonus episode. Although I don't know, Dawn, we might have to move to weekly episodes now. We've been
for Pete's sake,
episodes.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I know. We'll see. I'll work on her. So I'm Dylann Crush. I'm here with Dawn Luedecke, and tonight we have guests Emmy Carter, Lisa Suzanne, and Monique Orgeron. Did I do that right?
Got it right.
Nice.
Okay. I'm just known for botching names, so I try. I practice ahead of time. So we're excited to have some of the authors from the Do Not Disturb Book Club with us tonight. They're going to talk a little bit about a big giveaway special event that they have going on this week. But first, Dawn, tell me, what is new with you?
Holy cannoli. Like, seriously, so much. I mean, I got one book done. I'm working on the second one. And I've got 4 kids, so you all know that's super crazy. But yeah, doing that. My husband should be home in a couple weeks. He is working on his abs so that eventually he can come live for all you viewers that have been begging him to come on. So
promises.
I mean, he
has now for what, almost 2 years, and we have yet to see your husband on the screen, Dawn.
I know, but you know,
in fact, I'm not even sure he exists anymore.
And you know what? I'm not even sure he exists either. My husband's been deployed for like all year, so
he's coming home.
He is. He's coming home, and he's he's retiring next year. So my kids and I are going to be moving in probably December, and then he's going to be a geo bachelor until he retires. So. You got a very short window, ladies, to help me convince him to be on the show between now and December. So, but he's been working on his abs, so maybe he'll give us some ab action. So we'll see.
We'll just tell him that one of us might want to hire him to be on our cover or something. Military cover. Come on.
Yeah,
that's right.
My husband's trying, and I'm like, no.
How many? He's actually been on one of my covers before. Sorry, Monique.
Oh,
yeah, but just his arm, because the Coast Guard said we couldn't show his face, so it's like a body shot. But he's in uniform, so.
But do you have that? I know you're going to show us that.
Oh, for Pete's sakes! Like,
yeah, some of
us are single. We're not shy. Okay? Or we can get them. I'll put some arm porn. I'm good with that.
All right. Well, I'll grab it while you guys are reading, because I'm going to have to get my phone, and I left it over there.
Any of y'all let y'all husbands do a live with y'all, or any, come on y'all groups or anything?
We have had not us, but we have had a husband read for his wife because she had laryngitis and she didn't want to miss it. So that was a really sweet episode.
It was. And then last week, Dawn abandoned me.
I did.
And you did. And Blair Babylon treated us to a little snippet of audio. So we had a sexy Brit clip of audio that was on. And I don't know, I'm thinking we might have to do that more often.
Yeah.
My ladies in my group love my husband, and they call him Craigo. And you know how, as an author, we have readers that send us gifts. I love getting gifts, but I have some that actually send him gifts, and I'm like, why did you get a gift? They're mine.
Funny.
That is.
Yeah, Kimberly is in the comments saying she would love to see Craigo.
Yeah.
When I first saw that comment pop up, I really had no idea what she meant. I thought maybe Dawn had found another husband named Craig.
I told you, if my ladies come to this, they love my husband. I get so jealous sometimes because they will literally message me, "How's Craigo?" And I'm like, what about me? I'm chopped liver.
Right.
That is the exact opposite of my reader group and how they talk about my ex-husband.
All a matter of perspective. Anything else, Dawn?
That's it. I mean, I've just been in my cave. So, yeah, I got to get this book done before he gets home because he's like, pay me attention when I get home. Have your books done. I said, okay, I'll do that.
I mean,
What about you, Dylan?
if he's been away for that long, you're going to be a little bit busy.
I'm going to be super busy. Oh my God. You have no idea.
Talk about busy. I watched an interview today with Rachel while I was doing some edits on my book. And from the side, I'm hearing them talking. And then I hear, oh, yeah, we got to get some vitamin D. And I was
My interview. That was good.
like, what's they talking about? I
You were talking about sunshine, but I was talking about something else.
the conversation.
That's hilarious.
There are recommended daily intakes, of all those things.
You do vitamin D. I don't know.
So real quick, I'll give you my update. I had audio release for the first book of my Lovebird Cafe series on Monday, Sweet Tea and Second Chances. So I'm excited about that. And we also announced last week the Jingle Balls anthology. So we are doing a charity anthology for the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation, and it is chock full of ballsy humor. So
Awesome.
I hope you'll all check that out. It's 99 cents, and it goes on sale on September 29th, and it will only be available through October 31st.
Share it in my group.
I would love to. Yeah, there are 20 rom-com authors. So, and they all take place at a Jingle Balls ball.
Yeah, share it in my
Oh,
group.
is she frozen or is everybody frozen? Okay.
Oh, who's frozen?
I don't know. Moving.
Oh, you were for a second. Maybe
Me?
it's me.
Oh.
Everybody
no.
looks like they've got good vibes to me.
Somebody
Okay,
asked
it's
how
me
long
then.
I've been married. It's almost 30 years, not 27.
Oh, Karen is wondering how long you've been married.
Yeah.
I've been married for 27 years.
Almost 30.
I
Long
think
time.
I'm 10 years behind you because I'm not sure. I'm that kind of girl that has to ask my husband how old we are and also how long we've been married. So I think it's 17 years that we've been married. So we're 10 years
This
behind
year.
you.
One of my kids is convinced I just turned 19.
I love that.
He's kind of my favorite right now.
Right, exactly.
And I was like, I'll let you in on a little secret. Mommy is actually, and I told him, and he looked at me and he goes, no, you're 19. You're so funny.
How many kids do you have?
4.
See, yep. 4 club. Woo, woo. 4 club.
Yep. And it's insane having to do 4 all by yourself. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Amy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Oh, well,
Since
okay.
we're talking about kids.
I am Emmy Carter, and tonight I'm clearly coming out of the closet because I am in my closets because there's a lot of children, and so they're out there, and this is probably the quietest place of the house. I guess I've been with Do Not Disturb Book Club since it started, like however many years ago it was. We just kind of got together to do a fun activity, and we kind of created a group, and that fun activity just ended up going over so well that we just decided to keep it going and turned it into a reader group, and it's kind of exploded. But I typically write sports romance. I released sports romance book last month. I don't know what month it is. July. Matters to Me. The 4th book in the Heart series, and they're all interconnected standalones. But people really enjoyed it. It's a college football player and a college gymnast. So
nice.
That dynamic, and deals a lot with chronic anxiety and just kind of the realness of that and how it manifests itself in a lot of different ways. I also do rom-coms sometimes, although not very often. And the 4th book in the Charitable Endeavor series that I co-write with Andrea Johnston is coming out in October. In fact, we're having a cover reveal tomorrow, which I totally forgot about.
I can't believe you don't do more of it. You're funny as hell.
Well, yes, but I don't know. The sports books just seem to fly off the shelves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because everybody likes the super hot athlete and a regular woman, But yeah, and I write with Smarty Pants Romance, and so they're getting ready to announce the third launch with that as well.
Very
There's
cool.
Nice.
information on that coming out next month. So yeah, there's a lot in the pipeline. There's a lot coming. There's always a lot coming. I could probably take a nap right here. Oh, get out of my popcorn! The cat, popcorn.
Monique was our first guest to bring snacks, so we're kind
Yeah.
of bummed that she didn't bring enough to share with all of us. But
No.
I knew someone was going to bust in on me, and of course it's the cat.
it's the cat. I have a dog at my feet, but we have 2 cats and another dog downstairs. So yeah, I'm with you on the animals. Dawn can beat me in the children department,
I do.
but I've
But-
got three more pets than you.
Cat here,
Yeah,
too.
she does. She kicks me out of the water with the pets. I got one English Mastiff.
Yours
But-
is a big one though.
She's bigger now. She hit her little growth spurt, but she's still not as big as your Great Dane. So used to beat me.
Really obnoxious, medium-sized dogs.
Aw,
The ones that are yappy and like we have a Chihuahua Lab mix. Think about
Ooh.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, but I'm super interested in seeing the picture.
I'm pretty sure the dad was the Chihuahua.
But still,
And so we
Super
got
cute.
as a puppy, we had a yappy dog that dubbed. Like that's what and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That's great. So
Yeah, I
best
have
of both worlds.
a Chihuahua that's blind with no teeth, and all she does is bitch.
yes,
She's like 3.5 pounds, and she yaps nonstop.
yes.
And then I have a Sharky, and she was only supposed to be 6 pounds, fully grown. She's 25. She looks like a pig. She looks like a pig. And I have a board under my desk for my feet. She literally climbs up there, sleeps on her back with her pot belly up, and snores so loud that sometimes I can't concentrate. So I have to tell her to shut up or kick her off the,
Kimberly says, and also she's toothless.
Yeah, she's toothless. No teeth. I've got pictures and everything. She's blind in one eye and has no teeth.
Aww.
Oh, poor baby.
She just won't die.
But does she keep your feet warm?
The Chihuahua, hell no. I don't want to. She's so mean. She's so mean, and she's only 3.5 pounds. I'm scared of her. Even with no teeth, I'm scared of her.
Yeah. Well, Chihuahuas, they can be vicious.
Oh yeah.
I had a 4-pound one. Yeah. My
Yeah.
sister has him now. But oh gosh. He could get
I think
after
the smaller
you.
the dog, yeah, the bigger the attitude.
Mhm.
I really
It's-
enjoyed it. I think that Chihuahua would take down the Mastiff any day.
Any day. Any day.
My Chihuahua used to sleep on top of my Mastiff, our old one that died. So, but yeah, I mean, I got pictures of him just sleeping on top of her. But yeah, he could. I mean, yeah. What about you, Lisa? You're so quiet down there.
I know. Let's
I don't have any
say
pets.
something, Lisa.
I do have a dog. Well, I'm Lisa Suzanne, and I live in Chandler, Arizona. I'm originally from Chicago area, and I write books. I have on last Monday I published my 28th book,
Ooh,
Congratulations.
nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
and most of my recent books have been rock star romance. So, like Mary was talking about the hot athletes, I'm the hot rock stars, and I think people like the hot rock star who can hook up with the regular gal too. So that's kind of my thing. I love my rock stars. Although what I'm working on right now is not rock star, and I haven't told anybody what it is. So, but watch for that. It's coming soon. And so I'm excited about that. And what else? I have 2 free books right now. I know we're going to talk about the other books, but I have those here with me as well. These are both rock star romances. This is part of our. This one is part of our promotion that we're doing with the Do Not Disturb Book Club. So this is Take My Heart. It's currently free. Rockstar Romance. It's a rom-com and reality show. He goes on a reality show, so it's kind of a fun mix where he dates a bunch of different women, if you're into that kind of thing. And then my other one that's currently free is A Little Like Destiny, and you can see behind me, that's the original cover. I had them redone at the end of last year. But this one's also free, and it's a starter in a trilogy. And this is like kind of my first rock star romance that people recognize from me. So read that one too. That's one of my faves, although they're all my favorite. Let's be honest.
I know it's with children. I always hate it when someone asks, "What's your favorite book that you've ever read?" And it's like
hard.
The one I just finished is always my favorite because it's
yes, this one, the most recent one.
Or your favorite man, because I write them all for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my readers try to steal them from me.
So, and in this one, A Little Like Destiny, the main character is an English teacher, and I taught English for 14 years, high school English. So, and now I have 2 kids, ages 1 and 4, and I stay home with them and write full time. So, that's me.
Okay, I'm sorry. You write full time with a 2 and a 4-year-old?
One and a 4-year-old.
One
yeah.
and a 4-year-old. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and we're doing virtual pre-K, so now I'm a preschool teacher too.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah. So I actually have started getting up at 5:15 in the morning so I could work before my kids get up.
Me too.
That sounds like you, Dawn.
Yeah, that's me. Well, I wake up at 5. Well, I wake up at 4:30 and I hit the snooze button until 5:30. And then I get my ass up and get my coffee.
Yep, that's me.
Although Lisa is in Arizona, so it's earlier there.
No, but y'all look, like this is because we're doing the same thing. Look at all these alarms. I have 11 alarms set per day
to get out of bed.
I gotta get like work done and it's madness when you're doing it at home right now.
It is.
I don't know how y'all do it with small children, and I guess that ages me because I guess I'm the oldest here, but my kids are all grown.
No,
but I do that. I don't get up at 5 or something in the morning, but most of the time I'm still awake at 5 a.m. in the morning.
That's right. You're a night writer, aren't you?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm jealous because I had 3 that were like starting to get out of the house, and then I accidentally got knocked up, and now I start all over and have a 4-year-old, and I'm like, what?
See,
never gotten out of PTA at the elementary school ever.
oh, hell no. You know what's bad is I actually had a pregnancy scare about a year ago, and I literally was crying my ass off because I couldn't think. I have a 23-year-old and a 19-year-old. One just graduated college, one's still in college, and then a pregnancy scare. And then I found out
Oh no.
that it was the start of menopause. So I don't know.
I would be happy for you, sad for you.
I don't know either. I just cried. I don't know.
oh,
Yeah.
So, Monique, on that note, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your perimenopausal self?
Yeah, I was about to say it's more personal than that. Oh, I just turned 50 this year, guys. And I write contemporary suspense. I write mafia style from a family set in New Orleans series. And I write sexy as F mafia men. So, you know, and there's twists and turns around every page. I'm from Deep South Louisiana. So Cajun girl here, very Southern, write what I know so far. And the readers seem to like it. So I keep on going. And I do have a freebie tonight, like everybody was talking about. I will be giving 1 paperback away to anybody who comments where Dylan and Dawn told them to seduce. So all you got to do is say, seduce me, because I will.
Hold on, let me write the comment. Hold on. Right now.
Seduce me.
I love that.
And
Just tell me what you want.
do you want to tell people about the event?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
why y'all are here? I mean, besides hanging out with us is fun.
Yeah, I'm grateful to y'all to let us come on here and tell everybody about it. We are 3 of the featured authors in Do Not Disturb Book Club. And we are doing an event right now called Speed Dating with an Author, with a D&D author. And we have 16 of us that all got together, and we're offering 1 free ebook to anyone and everyone. No strings attached, no subscriptions, totally free. All you have to do is click the link to the webpage that we had designed and go find the covers, click on the covers, blurb. You can see where to follow and like the author if you choose to. And then you'll see a button that says Get Book. And it'll take you either to Amazon or a book funnel link to go ahead and download the book for absolutely free. And so you can't get better than that. The event's lasting for 5 days. It started yesterday on the 19th and it ends on the 23rd. And I will tell you the 16 authors that we have. Some fantastic authors. We got some rock stars in here, including us. Wave it, girls. Okay. So we have Alita Romig, Allison Santos, Bella Jewell, Bethany Lopez, Kat Johnson, Erica Alexander, Erica Kelly, Jade Crow, Jamie Albright, Lisa Suzanne, Mary Elizabeth Carter, Mariah Dietz, Melanie Moreland, Mia Kayla, Monique Orgeron, and TK Lee. So that's some really good authors. And no matter what type of genre you like, we have it all. We have Mafia in there with me and then Aletha. And then we have Rockstar. We have rom-com. We have MC. So we have all the different genres covered and all the different voices covered from our fantastic authors. So it's like speed dating because you're grabbing each one free. See if you like the author, if you've never read them or heard them, and then go on to checking out the rest of their catalogs. So grab a book. Tell your mama, tell your friend, tell your neighbor, get you a book. Grab them all.
Well, I mean,
That's a really cool idea.
Authors there. I mean, some of these authors in there are some of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Like they're automatic one clicks for me, a bunch of the DC authors. And just from reading them over the years and working together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I will never be able to write like this person, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah, because they all have different voices.
Yeah.
I love that. And I went the first day and I'm clicking all of them. I downloaded every one. So I got all of y'all books. So watch out because I will be reading you. So, you know.
That doesn't make any of us nervous at all.
No. No.
No, that's a really fun event. So, yeah, we encourage you. What's the website again?
It is called Speed Dating with an Author from the Do Not Disturb Book Club.
Okay. So do they go to the website or they go into your Facebook group? Where do they get?
They go to the webpage. Okay. And I'm sure you have it. I don't know if you had put the link with this video or somewhere, but you just click the link and you can go to the webpage that one of our authors designed for us. It's a temporary webpage just for this event. Ooh. And you get everything from there. And it's really good. She really did a great job.
Very cool.
See if I can find it real quick because I feel like it was a super easy link.
Yeah.
There was a bit.ly for it.
Yeah. bit.ly, bit.ly/16 books.
Yeah. And so far, the event has been doing excellent. I know that a lot of us, I think Erica Alexandra hit number 2, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm at 53 or something. I don't know. I don't remember the last numbers. So we're doing really good. There's a lot of hits. So everybody needs to go and hurry up and grab them while they can.
Very cool. And it doesn't count as two-timing if you are keeping your dates to within your group, right?
Oh, no.
You know what? I just realized something, too, that I completely forgot about because I'm sort of a loser that way. But Change of Heart is the free book that I have, which actually it's free on, there you go.
Yeah,
it's Whisper Synced for $1.99 for the Audible upgrade. And I just realized that. So you can get the ebook and the Audible upgrade for $1.99. And it's Jacob Morgan, y'all. like if you can listen, don't read listen because it's Jacob Morgan, y'all.
Look at the comments to see if Rachel's in here. She was earlier. She loves Audible, so I'm gonna have to tell her.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
And you are all going to treat us to a little snippet of your books tonight as well, right?
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Lisa drew the short straw, so she's going first.
Okay. You ready?
I think so. Do you want to set it up? Are you reading from your book that's featured in the event?
No.
Okay. Show us what you're reading from so we can see.
This is the one in the event. And then I'm reading from my newest release, which this one
Gotcha.
just came out last Monday. It's called The Replacement War. And so I guess to just set it up a little bit, it's a standalone, and it's a rom-com, and it's a rock star romance, and it's enemies to lovers. So this band has an opening for a bassist position, and they decide to hold a contest to see who can fill this open position, and they're going to do it on a reality show. So they have all these challenges for these potential bassists. And then first we meet Gage, who lives in Las Vegas, and he's this bad boy. He plays bass for a Motley Crue cover band in Vegas, and he's going to be one of these potential contestants. So he goes to California to get ready for the show, and then he meets this girl in the hotel named Lexi, and they kind of both lie about what they're doing at this hotel in California, and they have this awesome weekend together, all kinds of sexy times. It's great. And then they leave. They're both like, you know what? I got a bunch of stuff going on. I can't get involved in anything right now. So this is goodbye. Maybe someday we'll run into each other again. So until they get to this house where they run into each other again, and it's, they're each other's competition for this spot in the biggest rock band in the world. So that's when the enemies part starts, because Gage opens his mouth and says something really stupid, and she gets mad, and then we have a lot of fun from there.
Love it.
Sounds fantastic. Okay, we are going to leave you to it, and we will be back when you're done.
All right. So this is just a short excerpt, and it's when they meet, the first night they meet, they're at the hotel at the lobby bar, and she's kind of young. She's like 25, and she doesn't have a lot of experience with drinking. She's a country girl. She's a country singer and bass player from Nashville. So she's like the Nashville sweetheart, and he's this bad boy from Vegas. And so she's trying to be all like, I'm way cooler than I'm coming off, right? So she orders 2 Godfathers. The bartender nods, and I can't help but wonder why I got 2. It's not like I'm going to chase a Long Island with an amaretto and whiskey concoction. A Godfather, huh? Gage says. I don't even know what that is. I laugh. My grandfather used to drink them all the time. He picks up his phone to research what it is. Amaretto and a good Scotch whiskey over ice, he reads, and I nod. He chuckles as his eyes edge back over to me. If I didn't know better, I think you're hitting on me. My jaw drops with indignation. What? I gasp. You're buying me a drink, and you got yourself one too. And it's a strong drink at that, which tells me now you're trying to get me effed up along with you. He leans in a little closer and lowers his voice to a husky rumble, causing my heart to thump and my tummy to do a flip. You know what happens when 2 strangers meet in a hotel bar and get effed up together? A rush of something, maybe fear, maybe anticipation, maybe desire, or maybe all 3, rushes through my chest. What? I whisper, my eyes locked on his. He lifts a shoulder. I don't know. Let's find out. The heat behind his words is enough to cause my thighs to clench together. I take another sip of my Long Island in a futile attempt to cool myself down. Unfortunately, it has the exact opposite of its intended effect. Not only am I starting to get drunk with a stranger, but I'm starting to get drunk with a very hot stranger in a place I'm unfamiliar with. This probably isn't the smartest thing I've ever done, but sometimes life is more fun when we're stupid. So that's it. That's my little excerpt.
Love that.
Life is definitely more fun sometimes when we're stupid.
Sometimes.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I saw we did have one question come in before I forget. Someone was asking, Amber's asking, Emmy, which book is it that's whisper synced for $1.99?
Well, there's 2 of them, but the one we were talking about was Change of Heart. That's what I'm going to read out of.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's also free in Whisper Sync. I don't know what's happening here. Apparently, I've lost my mind.
Isn't it fun when Amazon surprises you? Or
hey, I'm like, go for it. The narrators are fantastic. If you can get it for $2, I'm good with that. Just do all the things.
So, Lisa, I'm sorry. Back to your book, though. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget because, so this is your new book. Is this part of the series?
It works as a standalone, but there are there's 6 books total that all are about the same band.
Okay.
So you can read it as a standalone, and it really doesn't have that much of the original band members because it's the competition and it's a dual point of view from Gage and Lexi. So it's really more about the two of them filling in for this spot.
Okay. So quick question for everybody. Raise your hand. Who writes in first person? Just you. 2. Okay. 3. Dylan sometimes.
Not
Okay.
present though, because then you have to ask, do you write first person present or first person past?
Yeah.
I write present.
Interesting.
Actually, my first 10 books were past tense, first person past, and then since then they've all been present. I don't know why I switched.
And I just noticed that. And I was wondering because I write in third person. Sometimes I find myself slipping into first. So I'm just kind of figure
I
it out.
don't know how you do third person. I find third
Okay,
person really hard to write.
Isn't that funny? I think, yeah, and for me, I do both, but it just seems like the book just kind of comes out how it
comes out.
to.
I have to write.
I had half of a first person book and then I changed it to third.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Monique.
I have to write first person and I have to write present because I write different POVs. So when I'm in that chapter, I take on that character's personality, I guess is a way to say it. So I write it as it plays in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So from that character, it just flows easier that way.
It's funny you say that because the one book that I wrote in past tense is one of the only books I wrote one POV. But dual POV, it's always been present tense. So it's interesting you said that because I never put that together before.
Yeah.
Look at
at me because my beta reader and alpha reader thinks that I write my male characters stronger. So my husband laughs at me because he'll bother me and I'm like, I'm Gunner today. Leave me alone. Because you just have to get in that mind frame of being a man, which is difficult for certain steamy scenes. But hey, it works. I do my research.
Now, I think I saw on Facebook, was that today that you said your husband has never read any of your books?
Who, me?
Did you say that? Yeah.
Oh, no. My husband.
No.
My husband.
Who was that? Was that somebody else I saw? I could have sworn that was you.
No, my husband's too nosy. And actually, my reader tried to PayPal him money for secrets. They try to PayPal him for money for secrets. And what really pisses me off about him is when he reads a couple of chapters and then he agrees with my alpha reader. Like they read a chapter I sent that I wasn't sure about, but then yet I was so proud of it. And my husband read it and my alpha reader was reading it. And then I got mad because my husband went, it's too predictable. You got to rewrite it. And I went, what? So then I called my alpha reader and I said, what do you think about it? And I told her what Craig said. She goes, I agree with Craigo. And I went, oh, shit.
So they gang up on you, too.
I was so mad.
I just remembered who it was. I remember who it was that I saw that from. It was not you. Sorry about that.
No.
But yeah, that's really funny because they don't go behind your back and talk about it and then gang up on you, do they?
Oh, they were ganging up on me that night. I had them on speaker and they were just going back and forth laughing at me because, she said, Craig's right. Craig said, did I hear that? And then he said, I could be a writer. And I'm like, yeah.
I've heard that from my husband too.
Yeah.
Did you tell him to sit down at the computer and try it?
Yeah, no, I told him then dictate me a story and he started calling it a Johnson and I said, yeah, this is not going to work for you. I said, I
have to ask my husband though, what do you how do you refer to it in your own head when you think about it? And I mean, that was such an uncomfortable conversation for him. He's like, I don't want to talk about that with you. I'm like, but it's for research, honey. I need to know, do you call it, we're PG-13 here. So do you call it this? Do you call it this? And I mean, my husband, you can just say pretty much anything and he'll blush.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I'm not talking about that with you right now.
Okay. I'm going to ask my
husband. Is he calling it buttercup or something? What is that? That was so embarrassing he couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember
I don't think about it like that. Like you're saying, I think about it, like, so, I mean, he's read through my stuff and said it was accurate. It was just funny. I think it was maybe, I don't know.
I'm going to ask my husband and see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever told y'all this story, but it's so funny. The first sex scene I ever wrote in my first book, I accidentally chose to write it, I guess accidentally or mindlessly chose to write it from the male's point of view. And I stopped during it and I'm like, I don't know how a male thinks about, or feels or, everything. So I stopped and I asked my husband to explain what a male goes through or feels or, the sensations and everything. And he just looked at me like I was just flipping out of my tree and said, I'm not talking to you. I got to stuff. You're going to write a book. And I seriously was like, well, you have three choices. Either you can explain it to me, or I can dip a toe in the lady pond to find out, or go to the local McDonald's with a clipboard and start asking strange men questions as they go into breakfast. So he wound up telling me, but it worked out really good. But yeah, my husband is very, he never really read romance. He reads, but he doesn't really read romance genre. So when I started to write, and I write mafia, so there's action, there's angst, there's a little bit of, violence.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband will look at me funny and go, do women really like to read that kind of stuff? You don't think it's too much? And I'm like, what do you think women are reading? We're not, we're not sitting back reading Fabio, or the old Harlequin. Indie writing or books in general have grown so much, and opened different doors for women to read,
Mm-hmm.
My husband used to read all my books too before we had kids, and now there's just not as much time because I publish like 4 books a year. So, but same, he's not a romance reader, but he still enjoyed my books. So
yeah. Well, I have a lot. Well, I say large, but it's a nice sized male readership. And I like to talk to my male readers, even though I don't let them in my group. So I'm active with probably 8 of them. And my oldest is 74 and my youngest is 28. And I love to talk to them because I like to find out from a male's point of view of how they take it,
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's interesting because I literally was writing my book this week and I was thinking, I'm putting too much like emotion behind this dude. Like he needs to be more like sex, boobs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
that's great. Let's go.
But I'm like writing him like, I need to change. I need a family kind of situation. But then I talked to my husband and he's all sex and boobs. And so,
yeah.
I think I need to go back and
I don't know how many of
make
y'all
him a little bit more.
more male. But I don't know how many of y'all talk to y'all male readers, but they are something else. They're fantastic. And actually the male readers, they are so funny because they want to start putting their 2 cents in on what you should do. Because I write series, so they get the next book and the next book. And they're like, well, you need to do this, or you should change it to make it this way. And I'm like, They get into it just as much as the women, but in a different way.
yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun to listen.
My husband does that too. Like he gives me just a different perspective. So I really like talking to him about plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I go to my husband for sports references. Or I have in one of my books, I have a scene where he's talking about he was a baseball pitcher and, I had to ask about certain pitches and all this kind of stuff. And so he was very helpful when it came to that kind of stuff.
Well, we are at 9:41, so should we have somebody else read?
Yes, we need to hear from Emmy Carter.
Yep.
Yes.
Because I was told that she spent all afternoon trying to prepare for tonight's reading.
And all afternoon. She was like consumed by it.
Yesterday was the first day of school. I've had 2
Oh my
birthdays
gosh.
in the last week. So we've had like 4 parties and school, and I'm behind on it's been a nightmare. Oh my gosh. So, but I pulled Change of Heart off the shelf like, 20 minutes ago. And I guess I'm just going to read a little excerpt out of it. Change of Heart was actually my debut book in 2014. And so it's a little bit older. And so it's kind of fun to go back and read through it because it is past tense, first person past tense, but it is the straight point of view of Jason Hart, who is one of the best football players in the country and has absolutely no interest whatsoever in dating, but randomly meets this little boy. That did not come out right. Let me back
This is not that kind of show, Annie. I don't know what they told you, but
and this is a whole different genre. No, he goes to a school and ends up meeting the little boy whose father had just died. And since his father had died when he was a kiddo, he kind of like makes the connection to the kiddo and meets the kid's mom. There's a mom.
got it.
Well,
Nice day.
everyone 101 clicked it. I don't know.
Okay.
So this is just one of the scenes from when he comes, he invites them to come to the stadium and he meets the mom for the first time.
Okay. All right. We are going to leave you to it, and we will be back after.
Wish me luck. I have no preparation, so y'all just forgive me. I walked around the locker room searching for dirty underwear or jock straps. Everyone had already gone home after the short practice we'd had. But with Jackson and his mom on the way, I wasn't taking any chances. There wasn't a lot I could do about the smell, but I could at least make sure the place was cleaned up. The phone in the locker room rang once before I picked it up. Yeah, I answered. Hey, Mr. Hart, this is Ronald from security. Ronald was always this pleasant. He resembled an older Wayne brother, and he greeted everyone with a smile, every time. I have an Addison Bryant and her young man Jackson here for you, he said. Thanks, Ronald. I said, I'll be right there. I hung up the phone and took one more glance around the room. It was as good as a professional locker room was going to get. On my way to the west side door where the Bryants were waiting, I passed a few maintenance and administrative people in the halls. They didn't really notice me, and I certainly didn't seem surprised to see me. It seemed like I was always there. Some said I was too dedicated to my job, but like I told Lindsay the other day, I have a very small window of time to be a professional football player, especially since my job was to tackle people regularly. The minute other players got faster than me, my career was over. No one much older than 35 can keep up with 21-year-old first-round draft picks. That left me with about 6 more years playing the game I loved, and I would make the most of it. But my world was starting to feel a little too small. So it was nice having Lindsay come back in my life, and hopefully Jackson and I would continue to hit it off. They were a nice reminder that once football was over, there was still lots of life left to live. I rounded the corner and immediately caught sight of Jackson. Jason Hart, he yelled and ran toward me. I knew it was coming this time, so I squatted down for him to hug my neck instead of my legs. I always wanted to come here and see a real football field. Are we going on the field? Are we going to see a game? He started launching rapid-fire questions in my direction. Slow down, buddy, I said with a smile on my face. Yes, we are going onto the field, but no, there is not a game today. The season opener is tomorrow, so there's going to be a lot of people setting things up, but not much else. Gives us a chance to check everything out. Figured you might like to see the whole stadium. He started jumping up and down. Yeah, and the locker room and the trainers. And can I run out of the tunnel you come out of? Sure, I said. Well, make sure to go through the tunnel to get right onto the field. All right, he yelled, throwing his fist in the air while I stood up to introduce myself to his mom. Hadn't really paid much attention to her once I caught sight of Jackson, so when I turned my eyes to her, my steps faltered just a bit. I was expecting someone in her mid to late 30s, maybe older, but she couldn't have been older than 30, if that. She was beautiful, not in a tall and skinny supermodel way, but in a real woman way. Her dark brown hair came down just below her shoulders, and when she looked at me and put out her hand for me to shake, her smile about knocked me on my ass. I don't know if I can say that. Hi, Mr. Hart, she said. I'm Addison Bryant. It's really nice of you to invite us here. I grabbed her soft hand and smiled back, trying to keep my cool and praying I didn't look like a stupid tongue-tied teenager. She didn't seem to notice, so I think I covered it well. Thanks for coming, Mrs. Bryant, but please call me Jason. We're not very formal around here. Only if you call me Addison, she said, her lips turned upward as she removed her hand from mine and tucked it in her back jeans pocket. Addison it is, I said, still smiling. Damn, I've never seen a smile light up a face like that before. She looked like someone who enjoyed laughing a lot. I could get used to being around that, I thought to myself. Sorry, she started waving her hand in the direction of Jackson, who was still jumping up and down. This time he was talking animatedly to Ronald about something football related. Wasn't really sure what and didn't really care at that moment. Nah, he's fine, I said with a chuckle. Ronald is the most talkative and friendly man I've ever met in my life. I'm sure they'll keep each other entertained for a while. She looked over as I said it, and sure enough, Ronald was clearly just as engaged in the conversation as Jackson was. Did you find the entrance okay? I asked. Obviously, she had since she was standing right in front of me, but I wanted a few more minutes to talk to her. I was intrigued by her and wanted to see if I could figure out why. She shuffled in front of me, clearly a little nervous. Could she be intrigued by me too? I quickly put the thought out of my brain. The woman had lost her husband and father of her son 6 months ago. There would be no intrigue on her end of it. So I chalked up to the nerves to meeting her first professional football player. Oh, your directions were great, she said. Thanks for making sure Ronald knew we were coming. The last thing we needed was security thinking Jackson was going to make an unauthorized break for it. He's been jumping around the hallway for 10 minutes now. I grimaced. Sorry about that. I was in the locker room. It's a small hike to get over here from that side of the building. Oh, I'm sorry. She started blushing just slightly. I didn't mean to imply that waiting was a problem. Jackson can be overwhelming sometimes. I know what you meant. I just felt bad that I kept him waiting so long. Speaking of which, I began. Hey, Jackson, are you ready to get this tour started? I yelled in his direction. Jackson turned and started running towards us. Yeah, he yelled, bouncing on his toes. I could relate. Being in the stadium before a game always gave me enormous amounts of energy, too. We're going on the field first? I looked up at Addison, not for any other reason than to look at her. That's when I noticed her clear hazel eyes. They were just so bright and, I don't know, joyful maybe? I thought we'd hit the locker room first and the locker room and trainers first, maybe even see if my coaches are still in. We want to get to the field through the tunnel on that side of the building. Is that all right with you, Addison? I swear I saw her bat her eyelashes just slightly. Sounds good to me, she said softly. They'd lead the way. I motioned for them to start walking ahead of me. As they headed in the general direction of the locker room, I made no effort to hide that I was checking out her backside. A man could get used to seeing that every day. She wasn't model skinny. Nope, she was the size of a normal woman, with some hips and quite a bit of junk in that trunk being shown off by some very flattering, sparkly jeans. Nice. I heard a snicker off to my side and looked over to see Ronald watching my every move. I winked at him and smiled as I jogged to catch up to my guests. And that is an excerpt from Change of Heart, which is free everywhere.
Good job.
Nice.
Yes.
That was pretty good for lack of preparation, huh?
Oh, good.
Very well done.
Very.
So that was
Love it.
that was cute. I really liked your enthusiasm as you read the child's.
I was gonna say, and your kid voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No, with this many children, Dawn, you can
I do.
anything. You can write any personality of a child at this point. There's
Yeah.
so
I mean, I talk to my kids and their personalities, and my daughter's always like, I don't sound like that. And I'm like, okay.
You just start doing that. That's funny.
I'm sure they enjoy that immensely.
Yeah, she does. Trust me.
I would, for sure.
So, research for football.
Yeah.
How do you figure out all the details? Have you been in the tunnel of an NFL stadium with a hot football player before?
Yes.
No. No, wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, you could have strung us along for just a minute.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do it regularly. Always. They invite me every time. No, honestly, the story for Change of Heart had been moving around in my brain for a few years, mostly because I'd been working on the PTA at school, and there was actually a football player that had gone to a school. And for some reason, the brain starts going with, well, what if he had gone and met some kid? Well, what if the kid's dad died? Well, what if, and it just kind of spiraled from there. But it didn't. I thought it was a soccer story, and I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And then one day I was leaving because I was working with the PTA trying to get a soccer player to come to our school. And that's kind of how that all sort of happened. And it just kind of hit me and it started rolling. I actually sat down and wrote some of the scenes while I was watching a football game on TV because I could not get my brain into the lingo the right way. And I make darn sure I have some really good beta readers who know more details than I ever will.
I was gonna say this. My next question is: do you like sports?
Yes, but that's the thing is that I don't like them in that I'm not going to follow a team. I don't follow teams per se. But if you say, hey, let's go to a football game, oh my God, I'm there. Absolutely. Or let's go to a baseball game. I'm there. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I'm not necessarily going to make it a point to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
That can cause problems sometimes. In the fourth book I wrote is also the football. That was supposed to be a standalone, and it kept going. So now there's like 7 books coming in the series. And it became a problem because I accidentally I was writing the book, and I think he was a running back. And then in the middle of the book, somehow I changed him to a cornerback. Those are complete opposite. Like they're not even one's offense and one's defense. Like that's not even close. And I had to go back and fix half the book. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I probably messed it all up. And it was, so that's always fun. So I do more research than knowledge just because I know enough to make me want to write sports romance, but.
See, I don't even know enough to make me want to write sports romance. I was just glad that my husband wasn't a sports watcher. When we married, I'm like, that's one of the reasons I chose you.
Yeah, no. Well, my ex-husband was a sports watcher, and my dad was a sports watcher, and so maybe that's where some of it came from. So
yeah,
I absorbed a lot of the knowledge, I guess.
Well, shall we get to Monique or?
Yes, Monique, do you have something fairly short you want to share with us? We want to make sure we have some time for questions, although our viewers are being extremely quiet.
Right? Yeah.
So if you have questions for anyone, please pop them in the comments so we get a chance to ask them.
Come on, Karen.
I had 2 things. I'm not sure. I had a prologue from the book that I'm giving free, but then I see I have a lot of readers in here right now. So I have also the prologue of my work in progress that's not edited. So I figured I might try to be brave and actually give it to them tonight. But yeah, it'll be very brave of me. So what do y'all think? Should I do that one?
I think it's awesome. And if any of your readers clicked off, sucks to be them.
They're going to catch it, trust me.
I'm going to grab my popcorn so I can watch.
Do it.
Hey, don't judge me too strongly because it's not edited. Okay, so, this is the prologue.
Set it up.
This is my prologue for Absolution. It's my new book coming out soon. And it's about a character named Gunnar who's been around in the series for about 3 years in my world's time. But nobody has been able to really figure him out or get a read from him or know much about him. And they've been struggling to. But there is a secret that he carries. So the prologue is done over a year ago. So it's like a flashback, but it's set in present time because the last book that was released, this happened in it. So now it's his book and he's remembering, and then it flashes to present. Okay.
All right. We are going to leave.
Okay. This is Gunnar over a year ago. For you ladies who are waiting for absolution. The hunger to see blood spilt runs rampant in men, whether they want to admit it or not. Give them a taste and they will find a way to get their fix. Shane's words from earlier won't leave my mind, proving how little he actually knows about me or how much I understood every single syllable that fell out of his mouth. I'm barely holding my position hidden on the outskirts of Shane's property, shrouded by the darkness of the night. Watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. I've been sitting here for hours, every muscle in my body strained since I was shown the cages, taking even, controlled breaths. I go back over every word Shane told me, particularly what he called the men. Inside the red ring, gladiators are born. The ones who fall and aren't sent a reprieve are struck down. They become the damned. Gladiators. My fury comes back full force. Such a poetic word, gladiator. There is nothing poetic about what happens in or outside of those cages. They don't become the damned. They are the damned from the second those cages come into their sights. You'd be shocked if I told you the stories of men who are homeless or simply taken from their families and homes to be used for this addiction. Under my watch, that shit doesn't happen anymore. Oh, Shane, you don't have to tell me the stories. I live them. I am the damned. Getting to my hunches, pushing my knuckles down into the ground, I grind them, letting the dirt and small twigs cut through my skin, feeling the pain, needing the pain, to keep me from going over the deep end, keeping me from falling back into a cycle of self-loathing. I need to stay calm, with my head clear. Patience, Gunner. I've waited this long, a little more time won't kill me. There are more players here to consider, ones I must be careful of. The Sterns. Seeing the guard leave his post, I take a chance and carefully make my way toward the warehouse. With each step, I try to control my anger. Patience. Patience is all I can recite in my head, but will it hold me back? I'm not sure. I won't know until I'm inside facing my past. Getting to the door, I quickly grab my kit from my pocket and begin picketing the lock. It takes more time than I'd like because my anxious hands keep fumbling. Come on, you piece of shit. Finally, I feel the lock give. I try the handle and it turns, giving me free rein. Looking back over my shoulder, I seek out the guard, wondering how much time I have and whether Shane knows how sloppy his security is. Opening the door, I take my first step inside and forget everything outside of these four metal walls, not caring about anything but my target. The room is dimly lit, making visibility a little easier as I go. Another step, I look inside each cage, watching the other two men sleeping on cots. Quietly, I continue making my way to the last cage, the one left on its own, separated from the others, the one that imprisons my nightmares. Reaching my destination, I stand so still, it almost frightens me. It's like my feet refuse to move another inch. I stand there like a child I once was, scared of the boogeyman. Not a muscle moves as I watch the sleeping man before me. Studying him, I notice the changes the years have caused. His deep black hair is now sprinkled with gray. Wrinkles cover his mouth from the years of snarls he loved to give. His muscle mass might be a little softer, but his size is still intimidating. A beast. Yes, he was and still is an ugly beast. His eyes pop open and my body instantly flinches. I actually flinch like a scared little bitch. Of course I do. It's a natural reaction, one he taught us all well. Fear, above all else, is what he required. It's what he demanded in order to remain in control. And I'll be damned if one look from him doesn't send me right back there, right back to me wanting to bow my head in front of him. He slowly sits up on his cot, staring at me with confusion written on his face. His confusion gives me an upper hand. I force my feet to move, taking one more step closer to his cage. Do you know how hard it was to pretend earlier? His head tilts, and I catch his eyes shift from side to side, checking to see if I'm alone. No one is here. Just us. We are all that is left. Unless I bravely take another step closer to the chain link, squinting my eyes out of curiosity. Do you see them? Are you haunted by them like I am? The end.
Gosh, all I could see while Monique was reading that was Me eating the popcorn, like you're just like caught up in the story.
I felt like one of
I
those.
wanted popcorn.
It's unedited, so don't judge me.
So good.
That was
Oh my
fabulous.
God.
And you have such a dramatic reading style that
You
you totally sucked us in.
She
So
should do her own narration.
what's that?
She should do her own narration.
Yeah.
My readers tell me that all the time because I have a release club. And for 5 days, I read a live excerpt to everybody in anticipation of the release. and they're all like, we need you to narrate the book, you know, but yeah, I try, but that is unedited. So don't judge me too harsh.
We do have some questions. So Amber, let's see, let's get up to Amber's here. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, I can't see it. Amber 929. Okay. Wait, no, that was the other one. Sorry. Sarah.
You caught Dawn off guard.
We did. Sorry. I was like chills and yeah. What is your daily writing routine? Sarah wants to know.
Tell us.
I'll go. Yeah. Do you want to go? I'll go. So I already said I get up at 5:15, right? And I write work until my kids get up about 7. And then it's mom duty time. Tuesday, Thursday, my kids go over to my parents' house for a couple hours. I pick up the baby and bring her home for a nap about 12:45. And then work during nap time. So like 1 to 3-ish. Then it's mom duty again until dinner time. Well, no, then still mom duty till bedtime is what I meant to say. So really my work time is in the morning before they get up, in the middle of the day when it's nap time, and then after they go to bed. So that's kind of my daily routine, is fitting in snippets when I can.
Yeah, I'm similar to that. I used to be a pantser where I would, just write when the fog would hit me. And I had to train myself once I got divorced and had to have a business versus a hobby. I had to sort of train my brain to start writing when I told it to. There are still some times where I'll have a fog and I have to get it down so I can go back to it later. But for the most part, it's the alarms I showed y'all earlier. All those alarms, that's pretty much it.
For me, I don't have a schedule. I'm more of a pantser. I don't even plot my books out. They just have to flow. And Lisa and Mary and y'all who have children at home, I don't know how the heck y'all do it. Because, for me, it just has to flow. And sometimes it flows better. I try to write every day though. But usually I start, during the day. I wake up pretty early, even though I don't go to bed too really late, because I try to handle the business aspect of things, which is a lot. And then by the time I get to writing, sometimes I find myself writing till at least 2 a.m. in the morning, sometimes 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning. Then I'll get like 4 or 5 hours sleep and I'm back at it. But I try to write them as fast as I can. I'm not like a lot of authors. I didn't have a lot of books planned ahead, so I write on the fly. And like this book that I'm about to publish, it's taken on, it won't end. So I'm like I think it's gonna be close to like 550 or 600 pages.
Wow.
And the last one I just published was 521. So nothing's planned out. It just goes as it goes. So I don't know.
Okay. So next question, 955. What is a story that you would love to write, but not sure your devoted readers will buy? She's good, right?
The one that's not a rock star romance.
I have a YA in my head that I feel like is like, it kind of reads like a Netflix movie script in my brain.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that would translate well necessarily to my readers. So if I do, it'll have to be when Netflix wants it.
I actually have 2 things I'd like to write. I would love to write a rom-com.
Yeah.
Because I write such, serious drama, but each one of my books have some humor in it because I like to break up the monotone of the book and like to make my reader feel every emotion. But I would like one total rom-com. I would also like to write a book that does not have an HEA. And I don't know if my readers would like that.
I did that once and they do not. There was a continuation and they were still angry. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
My last one had an HEA in terms of the love story, but the guy left the band and everyone was really angry about that. But that was his choice. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm just writing it.
I'm just putting words down.
Yeah, might not like it, but if
Yeah.
it's more, just an emotional story.
I would just like one without an HEA. You know what I find interesting though, is the last 3 books I wrote, it was a trilogy within a series. And I had one review. And the reviewer said that I had cheating in the book. And there was no cheating in the book at all. There was one kiss just to prove a point, but it was not cheating. And what amazed me was I do actually have a book with cheating in it. And not one word was said about that book. Not one word, because my readers love that character so much that not one of them would say a word about the cheating aspect of that book.
All right. So the next one, have you written some stories that you put aside but want to finish someday?
Lots of them, all the time.
I don't have any, no.
I actually read one today that I had set aside, and I was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good."
I love when that happens. It's like half the work when you get back to it. You're like, "Oh, it's so fast and easy now."
Yeah.
I don't have any that I haven't written, but I'm still fairly new. I'm a lot newer than all of y'all, but I have Post-its all over my office with ideas for all the future books.
Yeah.
And I saw one of the comments asked me if I was going to write The Children from the Stearns. You're damn right I am. This is one of the Post-its.
Yeah, sorry, I saw that one. I didn't write it down. Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
So next one, Monique, are you going to write? Oh yes, that was the question. There it was.
Yes, I am.
Just kidding. I had that one up next. Then what made you decide to take a chance and write about what you love?
I've always been a writer as far back as I can remember, and I was too shy to share it with anyone. But I did share it with my husband one time, and he had just heard a podcast on self-publishing. This was back in 2012. And then he said, "Why don't you try it?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I did. So, and he's just the best support system in the entire world. He's the one that pushes me and is excited about this with me. So that helps me. It helps support me too with 2 little kids that sometimes he'll be like, "You go work and I got them." And I need that a lot of days.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just had a story swirl around in my brain. So this one, it just was going so fast, I couldn't concentrate on anything else. I literally would get lost while I was driving, or I, would forget something was in the oven because my brain was. And writers will tell you, they know what the fog is. When you get the fog, you cannot do anything until the fog, but it was the strongest I've ever had. And I literally turned to my then husband. I was like, "You have to give me 30 days to just get it on paper because I can't do anything." And I was a reader, and I happened to be surrounded by people who knew how to publish. And so I sent the first 4 chapters to a couple of people, and they were like, "You need to finish writing this so we can get this published." And that was just kind of how it all happens. And 30 days later, it was written, which I could not do now if I tried. But 30 days, it was done.
For me, it was out of boredom. I was a stay-at-home mom for 23 years, and my children were in college, and I didn't have anything to read. Nothing was on TV that struck my interest, and I had an idea that I had been waiting for a book to be written around this idea kind of thing, and I'm like, well, sure, let me try it out. And I wrote that whole first book in secret. I didn't want anybody knowing because I thought, well, everybody's going to laugh at me. Who the hell thinks Monique can write a book?
Mm-hmm.
But I actually got caught, and I got caught by my sister-in-law, who thought, when I slammed my computer down for her not to see, thought I was watching porn. And I got caught. And
You were writing some porn scenes.
yeah. And I'm like, Lisa, when my husband found out, he was the one who actually said, "You got to publish this." And I didn't want to. I was scared to death. And he dragged me to the bank. He took money out of our savings and he said, open your own account. We're going to do this. And he's the one who did all the research. And I wrote a book. I mean, I published it thinking I'm going to sell 1 or 2. It'll go nowhere. At least I can brag to my friends, you know, and my children. I published a book. But then it did go somewhere. And you know how hard that is as a new author. It actually made some money. And I just went, okay, do that thing, you know, and I love it. But more than the writing, I love actually the reader interaction. I love my social media and my group and speaking to my readers and talking to them. And I'm so active with them that actually my readers have to crack the whip and force me to go back into my cave. Because I mean, at this age, I don't, you know, you're meeting so many people from around the world. This gives you that advantage. And I love that. Hey, sweetie.
We got a baby.
I know. I think that's our first baby we've had on the show.
It's a toddler.
Hey, it's Macy.
Have we had a baby on the show before?
We have not. We've had dogs and cats and husbands.
Yeah. Our first baby.
I told him I need an hour. And
Right.
It's an hour and 10, 12. We got 2 more quick questions.
Men are so
there's the
literal.
husband.
It's 100.
There you go.
Now we got a husband. Yay.
Husband!
Mason, come here.
It's the whole family.
Oh, yay. Hello.
That's what happens when we go over our hour.
Yeah.
He's looking at us like,
Who are these people, Mom?
I think there are 2 more questions. Do we have time?
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to combine them. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a set amount you write each morning? And what year did you publish your first story?
I published first in 2013, and I try to write 2,000 words a day.
How many? Sorry, my thing glitched.
2,000.
2,000. Okay.
2000.
Yeah, same with me. Mine first was in 2014, and I try to set myself to 2,000 a day, just because there's no other time if I'm gonna make dinner.
my first book I published in November of 2017, and then I published 5 more in 2018.
Wow.
I try to, I don't know how much I'm ever going to write. Sometimes it's 500, and then sometimes if my mojo is flowing, it'll be 600. It all depends.
I want hugs now.
I know. It's so much fun. My kids are older now, and they don't want to sit in my lap anymore. It would be weird. So
It would be weird if mine sat in my lap. In fact,
Don't worry, I'll sit in your lap at the next reader.
I will snuggle you too, baby. My oldest just tried to FaceTime me. She just got back from a date. And we're going to have to find out who this dude is.
Well, now I'm curious how the date went.
I know. She lives in another city, and she met this guy online. And this is their 3rd date, but I haven't met him.
Ooh, date number 3, and she's calling you. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
She calls me after everyone because I have to know. I worry about her because she's only 23, like 2 hours away, and she lives by herself. So I'm always catching. I don't understand all this online meeting people. But back in my day, I mean, but I don't know. I guess it's safe. I don't know.
I don't know. This online dating things, it gets me too. A lot of the military guys, they find dates on dating sites.
Yeah. And somebody told me, one of my readers actually told me, because they knew I was nervous the first time she went out with him, because I made a big post. Of course, I got to make a big post telling everybody how nervous I am. And they told me it's no different than it was back in my day when we would go to a club or something and meet a guy. At least with meeting him online, you have time to talk to him for like months or more time to get to know them other than just, appearance. So yeah. I guess that's true. I don't know. I didn't know my husband from crap, and I let him take me out. I first met him,
That's true. But then you don't know if they're lying online either.
Well, exactly.
True.
Fishing thing, but then they're probably not willing to meet you in person if they are lying. So
Yeah.
All right, we probably need to wrap up because we've been at this
should.
now for well over an hour. We like to try
Might be our longest one.
I think it might be. Yep.
Yeah.
We got bath time over here too, so.
You win the award. Well, thank you again for joining us tonight. We've got details about your event up on the Romance Happy Hour page. So if you're looking for that link, check it out there. Kimberly wants to know, do all of you have swag? I would probably say yes. I think everybody does have swag. But
I don't know. I'm in my closet. It's somewhere.
we don't want to see your underwear drawer. Not going to show you.
Way more than swag now.
So thank you for joining us tonight. We are wishing you the best of luck with your event. Hope it goes well. And I'm going to go pick me up some books.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure. You've been a blast. And also, we do have a giveaway, an extra giveaway for you. You each have something that you're giving away on the Facebook page. So if you want to go back and check out the Facebook page and find out what you need to do to enter. But each one of them are giving away a little something extra. So, all right, we hope you'll join us next time. We are on next Thursday, August 27th, and we are going to have the amazing Lucy Score, whose brand new book drops that day. So we're going to get a chance to talk to her about her new book, and she will be joined with Catherine Nolan.
Ooh, I like Lucy.
Big show next week. We hope you'll come back, and thank you. We will definitely be keeping up with everything you've got going on over at the Do Not Disturb Book Club. So,
Thank
all right.
you.
See you next time, everybody.
I already friend requested you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.